Padla tu veľmi krásna veta. Vamos a la playa.
So, someone said, vamos a la playa, if there was a beach, we would go. Yeah, we left you a little bit more time, as usual, and I don't have any watch. I will tell you a story, and maybe I will draw your attention. So, in Africa, there is a Tuareg coming on a horse, and he looked into my eyes. I was standing there, the young guy with a watch on my hand. We are looking at each other. It wasn't really funny. And I asked, or he asked, so where are you coming from? An American? And I said, no, I'm not American. European? Yes. Any problem? I don't have any problem. But you, Europeans and Americans, you all have a big watch on your hand. And so what? You got a big watch, but we have a time, and that's what he said. And that's when I understand that, yes, you have the watch and we have time. So we are always rushing, and ultimately we find out that the time is the only currency that we have. So I just wanted to bridge from a previous topic and from the coffee break to the start. And those who watch us from YouTube, congratulations for watching us at work. If I was your employer, I would be happy for you, because I would be happy that you learned something new. And there is a last presentation ahead of us, and our presenter is going to be Barbora Lukáčová, and we already discussed, and I already heard she will not need any paper or anything. I know that the presentation will be very interesting, and it's linked to Bernolákovo. And since you work at the Department of Strategy, Regional Development and Project Management for Bratislava Self-Governing Region Office, it will be half critical and half different, because, and you will tell us why. So here you go, the clicker and mic, and let's get going. Thank you very much. Warm greetings. At the beginning, I was here with the chief of the self-governing region, and then I observed you, and all day today, and this year's conference is about innovations. We talked a lot about political ensuring of the topic, if there is enough money, if we have done anything at all, or we are just excusing ourselves through EU funds. And I would like to show you that it's not always about infrastructure, and it's not always about money, and not always about politics, but it's also about the strategy and about the realization that either we have a vision or problem or identity in the territory, meaning the self-governing territory or higher territorial units. That's what I mean. And what are we doing in the area of landscaping around Bernolákovo? And before I start, we need to explain what campus is and what are we doing in the region in the area of bioenergy, and why are we talking about agriculture and about the topic of green cities and the topic of innovative construction. So what is the point of departure here? I will not talk about numbers very much, but let's just briefly say that we have some regulations, and regardless of how much we criticize them and identify with them, we are part of EU27, which is an elite club. We were supposed to comment on them when we were supposed to do it, and now we just need to observe them. them, and they are quite hard when it comes to a public sphere. You probably talked about it in the area of energy saving and certificates, and the commitment or the obligation to invest into public buildings. And you know what is the biggest advantage and disadvantage of Slovakia? It's a human capital. We can take some examples from abroad. We can talk about green roofs, but will there be anybody doing it or assessing it? And I'm not only talking about the professions when it comes to building industry and construction industry, but you need to have do we have people in public personnel that realize it? Do you have staff that can order it? Can you debate about it? Is there any expert in the area of public sphere? And I'm talking about cities, municipalities, and self-governing regions, and also on the level of ministries. Is there anybody who can define the overall perspective on Green Deal? And I don't want to put it only on the level of green and blue measures, but talk about climate change. No, I can say that there is no one, because there is not a study program like that. And I'm not talking on my behalf because I studied political science, but the deans and professors at the Slovak Technical University say so. And we always look at everything through very rigid perspective, as if we were in a big nation with a huge potential. There are no synergies, there is no overall perspective, and that's why we started to deal with it in the following context. So what is our real point of departure? We will all talk that we are densely populated area and that we have climate strategy that says that each city and town has some climate certificate, assessing whether the city is under the influence of drought, heat waves, and so on, and how, based on that, the city should define their public buildings and public areas, and they should approach it in a professional manner, and in this way they should order it. So it's not really true that an expert will come and will do expert solutions, because many times we are just performing unified solutions and we are convinced about them that they are correct. But if you have a city fighting with drought and you will be asserting some measures for huge rainfalls, you will not solve its climate. And we could go from one example to another. So we need to have public experts that can navigate in the topic, they can interconnect the synergies, and it's not just about the energy industry, it's not about just climate, but it's also about the public construction in relation to zonal planning. And why campus and what campus is? Campus is, in our perspective, not a high school campus. We look at a campus as the space where all of you can educate, where we can meet with such experts as our hosts are, as well as suppliers of various technologies that you are able to try at the campus. So campus for us is the meeting of the high school that is not yet in existence. We are going to build it together with applied research and also the public sphere. And why the SMEs are not competitive? Because they have the lowest possible possibilities of innovations, or and it's not me talking about it, it's experts talking. And now I'm getting to contents. We are third most important agricultural region in Slovakia, and our agriculture happens outside of climate change. For us as a rural country is kind of a problem, because in order to survive in agriculture, we need to diversify when it comes to agriculture in relation to climate change. If we don't diversify, if we do not re-qualify our study programs at high schools dealing with horticulture, we will not survive. So if we don't look at the agricultural primary and secondary production as a system of circular economy, we are not going to survive. And if we don't look at the animal production in a connection with the bioenergy, we will not survive. If we don't talk with the experts dealing with landscaping, so not only horticulture, but the ones that can see the priorities of the inbound and outbound city boundaries, will not survive. And speaking on behalf of the self-governing region, we do not have these capacities. We can talk about green roofs, facades, and climate resilient cities, but if you don't have people, you cannot do it. It will be just copy-paste solutions without targeted solutions or objectives. So our objective was to build such a school, such an educational facility that would focus on horticulture and landscaping in the context of sustainable agriculture, and to get the experts on the landscaping that will be certified, and that we will have crop and animal production that will be also the input into bioenergy, and that our bioenergy will be also interconnected with the previous studies, and us being a metropolitan area, that we will also establish a secondary grammar school focused on natural sciences. And we also used the opportunity and applied into the centers of excellence. And this is our point of departure of how are we going to adjust the infrastructure. What infrastructure have we used? We have used the large-scale infrastructure of the agricultural school in Bernolákovo. It was a very significant agricultural school that in the past focused on machinery in agriculture, and gradually this program lost interest of the public, and we started other study programs so that we could keep the area in operation. The area has various soils for various purposes where we can try green and blue solutions, and the buildings are having great layout, not only as agricultural facilities but also as educational facilities. And we started to connect all the schools into one infrastructure. We are not joining them, we are not fusing them, because the deputies don't like it. So we reconstructed the school in Malinovo in a way that we saved it. That school prepared landscapers and also prepared people for Mendeleev University. So we in 80s, 90s and 2000s we prepared it for the fusion with other school, and they started to produce florists. So in order not to cancel the school, we just transferred it to Bernolákovo, and we created a place for it. We used unused halls. I will show you later some pictures. The study environment and also the manners and methods they use are very innovative. Everything is done in line with the green strategy of the self-governing region. We use water and water circuit and also water circulation and retention. And we are also creating the infrastructure for the school that is at the same time educational material. So to talk about something and not to create the environment for study of it would be a fail. We also established a study program called bioenergetics. Or biopower engineering. Each agricultural school usually has its facilities, and here we had a program study that was barely surviving, so now we are refreshing it so that it gains traction. So first of all, we will use everything that the area and buildings offer, and there will be workshops and training facilities with various types of boilers, various pumps, and they will also have a greenhouse where the students can apply their research or perform applied research. Looking further, this is the current state. You can see large scale or great big area. You can see agricultural soil, also vineyards, study house, and so on. And on the other side of the road, there is a mansion, historical mansion. This is interesting architecture because Mr. Architect Dědeček executed this construction. For the period, it was the exceptional building that we are looking for a new usage. All buildings will be energetically renewed, and we will also apply green roofs, and there will be examples of bad and good green roofs in order for the students to learn. We will also have green facades on good and bad places. We will be studying what kind of substrate we should have. And through these facades, we will be teaching our students how these facades should be maintained. So we will, and this is the opportunity for you of all, we will be trying the things how they are supposed to go and how they aren't supposed to go. I spoke a lot about the area, and I focus on water and the water circulation. So it will start all in Czech Republic at the fishery school that work with wet ponds and dry ponds, where they study how the system works. All roofs will be used for irrigation, and now we will see the system of water flows so that the area is self-irrigating from the perspective of water circulation. So dry ponds, retention garden, and it will serve landscapers. Each discipline will have everything available that is necessary for this study. This is how the school looked like and under reconstruction or construction, and this is the new premises. This is how our new school looks like. This is the grounds for horticulture and landscaping students. We have chemical lab, multifunction study or workshop. We are going to be really proud of greenhouse, and maybe you may ask that, oh, are you going to have greenhouse in 21st century? No, but our previous school didn't have such a greenhouse. So you can also see how it's connected with bioenergy or biopower production. And maybe you can ask why not the whole roof is green, because we are going to try it out. We are going to try out what is better placement of the photovoltaic panels so that it's as efficient as possible. Inside we will have a pellet boiler or a heater, and you can also see all the systems of shadowing and growing. And such a thing costs only 1 million. It's not as expensive as one could say if you do it in a reasonable manner. So we made something that did not exist before, and we did it in a way so that it can function for several disciplines. You can see that the whole area is already adjusted to climate change, and anybody who wants to deal with public areas will have the opportunity to see the good and bad examples of something, of some solutions or measures. At the moment, we have linked or connected the school. We implemented the moving of the workshops and the study halls for the students of horticulture. And afterwards, there is the phase of energy revitalization of all buildings and area. Then we will continue with outdoor areas that will be done in line with climate change measures. Next year we will build greenhouse. We already have building permit and we got the sources, and then we will go into such features as photovoltaic panels over vineyard. Let's see if the wine or grapes will grow there. This all would cost us, or will cost us, approximately 14 million euro. And I'm not saying if it's too much or not. For regular high school, it's too much probably, but for campus, probably it's okay, because the campus is not only for high schoolers, but it should bring or produce new experts. And we will also research the new way of education. It will also serve the departments of the Slovak technical universities, but also to our Czech partners and self-governing regions, as well as municipalities as educational facility, because the climate is a public policy, it's not a private politics. The school will also create opportunities for applied research and also for innovations for SMEs. That would be on my behalf. And if you ask me if we went into that after knowing all the problems and issues and problems and, you know, the questions when we are not understood, so the answer would be yes, the campuses are our children. This is not the only one we are working on. We are working on several others. Thank you very much. Ms. Lukáčová. It doesn't happen to me very often when I said that, oh my God, that was great, but here I'm saying it's like fantastic. And I have studied the education. I am the professional in education. So what else if not investment into education? Because we have Silicon Valley and so on and so forth. They are proud of it because they are the biggest IT in the world. Why not to have something like that here in Slovakia? I'm the ambassador of the elementary school where they are dealing with falconry, and they were surprised at our study program, about our study program. The kids are learning not only theory, but they also learn the relationship to the animals, and they all learn on live animals like kangaroos and so on. And we have water retention system, and we use this water for irrigation. Incredible things. And then somebody comes and says, let's do such a school. Hats off. I'm applauding. And it doesn't matter if it's 14 or 20 millions. I'm very I'm enthusiastic. And I believe that also other people watching it will feel the same. And also that our government will get enthusiastic. When I heard today about the landfilling fines, or how much do we need to pay for the things that we did not comment on in the past. So my question is why somebody doesn't have a personal responsibility for something that they broke or they didn't control. So that was the last presenter, the cherry on the top, beautiful cherry on the top, Barbora Lukáčová. Fantastic, that's how it should look like. I'm very happy you laughed.